Let me get a mic check. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with the greasy black peel. You're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a sick crocodile, Mr. Grinch. Given the chance between the two of you, I'd take the seasick crocodile. You're a foul one, Mr. Grinch. You're a nasty, wasty skunk. Your heart is full of unwashed socks. Your soul is full of gunk, Mr. Grinch. The 3 words that describe you are as follows, and I quote, stink, stank, stunk. You're a rotter, Mr. Grinch. You're the king of sinful sots. Your heart is a dead tomato splotched with moldy purple spots, Mr. Grinch. Your soul is an appalling dung heap, overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of deplorable rubbish imaginable, mangled up in knots. You nauseate me, Mr. Grinch, with a nauseous super nos. You're a crooked, dirty jockey, and you drive a crooked horse, Mr. Grinch. You're a double-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce. Hey, Bror Fredrik! I'm gonna change. I promise I'll change. Give me a chance, Bror Fredrik. I know I can change. We shall see, Mr. Grinch. Welcome to Christmas Eve. No, what is it? It's Christmas Eve. I can't believe it. It is the 23rd. Let me fire up some chats. Hope you enjoyed my rendition of The Grinch That Stole Christmas. Let me see who's here. Let me say hello to people. That was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you too. Let's see what the chat had to say. Was it fun? I think I'm kind of fun sometimes. I don't know. Maybe in my own head. Who knows? All right, we got all messages fired up. All right, I'm going to scroll all the way back and do all the hellos. And you notice I'm going to get this microphone all up in my grill. Whoa, we had a blackout there for a second. Let me get this mic all up in my grill. That way you can hear me. Excuse me. Stink, stank, stunk. All right, there we go. Let's see. Joe Q, Chris Nett and Frank, Chanel Forshell, Trisha. Oh, Carolyn kicking off the 10 Bananagramas. I hope you heard my heartfelt thanks for that note that you sent me. Thank you very much, and thank you for kicking off the super chat with the 10 Bananagramas. I do appreciate that. And let's see, Venus, Angie, Sylvia, Val Marie, Marie Bell, Mary Leathers, Angie, did you get the twofer? That's good. Captain Did I say Captain Dave? That just flashed by. You here, bro? That was weird. I read your name in absentia. Carolyn, Kevin, Tom Mac, Kyle, Great Dane Mom, Rory. I want to put on music, but that's the best I can do. Venus, for the joy of Vegas. Cindy, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Yeah, I can't believe it's coming so quick. I got a little sad today. I'll admit, I get a little like melancholy come around like the 20th through like the 23rd or so, because why did December have to go so fast? It just went so fast. Why doesn't it just like take a pause? Just a little bit of a pause. Janice. I cannot view that deleted message. Who deleted message? Yeah, I know. I got a little blacked out for a second there. Caribbean Bandit, Stuart, Jim. What is up, Phil, brother Phil? Diane O, Keith Bubba. We got everyone piling on. What do we got? 88 people. That is friggin' awesome. And like I said, don't mind the mic and my grill, because I'm going to do some of this in a bit. Enrique, what's happening? I want to say all the hellos. Oh, that was a good one. Joe, thank you for the 2 bananaramas. I'm gonna give you a baritone reading in a minute. See, I can modulate and control, which is kind of cool. But I ain't no singer. That was the best I could do. People want to know if I can karaoke. I'll karaoke the Grinch. Like in if I karaoke in like April, can I request the Grinch? Christmas Eve. Sometimes it even cuts off a little bit. Let's see. Let me send everyone a couple of hearts. I am wearing a seasonally appropriate sweater, don't you think? I can request any song I want, so I'm requesting the Grinch. I don't know if many DJs like just roll around with the Grinch on or not. But let's check out Mr. Grinch. Because, as promised, I'm going to do a reading of how the Grinch stole Christmas. This dude right here. I love this guy. Check him out. He walks and everything. Do. Hey, Bror Fredrik, give me a chance. I'll change. He promises he's going to change, but we shall see. To be determined. He's all up in your grill. I love it. You gotta love autofocus, right? All right, Mr. Grinch. You can sit over there and chill out with Mr. Buffalo. All right. Let's see how, you want to see how they roll? They roll like that. they're like bros already. Whoa. No sleeping on the job. No sleeping on the job. All right, there you go. He got his Christmas hat going on. It's keeping him warm. All right. You guys chill. Here is the book in question. There is my phone in question. Let me see if I missed anything. I don't want to miss a single super chat, nor a single message. Because we're going to have some fun today. All right, we're caught up. We're good. We're going to have some fun. It is Christmas Eve, part 3. I apologize for that mix-up yesterday with I don't know, whatever happened, that disconnect. We had to do like 2 videos or whatnot. So watch part 2 if you hadn't. Part 2 was fun. We got into some heartfelt stuffs. All right, let's see. Lucky Lady Slots, how you doing? Do you dig my sweater? Like I said, I think it's seasonally appropriate. I wore the red one yesterday. I whipped this out. I finally found, I went to my storage place, and in it is garden tools I'll probably never use, Christmas decorations I always use, and that's where I do my winter and summer clothes. So I have a feeling this summer is going to be hot, so stay tuned for that, because it's been mild, extraordinarily mild. Today I think it was like 64 or 65, so, Fingers crossed. I can't cross these fingers. If I cross these fingers crossed, it's not a brutal summer, but let's just enjoy the winter. This is my favorite time of the year. And it's my favorite time to do things like we're about. Yeah, it's kind of got that Nordic thing going on. It's mild over in Michigan, too. That is highly unusual. But the other day, what was it, 2 days ago, went up to 72 here. So, yeah, I'm hoping for something nice. Although, at the very peak of Mount Charleston, there was snow. So that is a good sign if you ski, which I don't. All right, who's going? Someone's coming, someone's going. All right, we got all the peoples here, and are we ready? I think I'm ready. So what are we gonna? We got some time. We got a bit of time. It's only 5:45 right now. Steve, shout out winter. Winter, summer can be such an asshole sometimes, you know? I got a bone to pick with it. But winter is the best, isn't it? And thank you for that, and I'll see you in a bit, bro. Shout out Max, the true hero of the Grinch. Yeah, Max was, you know, we'll find out about Max in a minute. 70 in Missouri? You prefer some? Yeah, I mean, I'm not. So, okay. Summer is an asshole to me sometimes because I have the Nordic gene, you know, the N131. I think you do too, Steve. That makes you highly resilient in colder weather, but it also causes problems in hotter weather. So it just doesn't agree with my body. I found something out though. Like I've always read. When you're in the hot tub, right? You're in the hot tub, you got, you know, Swedish bikini team in there, you're chilling. It always says, like, if you have heart conditions, don't stay more than 5 minutes in the hot tub. All right, so you all know I've been rocking my Apple Watch, right? So this thing's telling me, you know, my blood pressure's giving me all the stats I didn't even want to know. So I'm taking a shower. So I'm like, it's supposed to be waterproof, right? So I took a shower with it, and I pressed the beats per minute thing. Let's see where I'm at now. And while I was in, like when you press it the first time, it gives you an initial reading, and it gives you readings for about a minute or two after that. I guess it's a setting. I don't care. But in the hot shower, I have a resting heartbeat in the mid to low 70s, a sleeping heartbeat in the low 60s, and, you know, a walking heartbeat of around 110 or so, you know, when I'm hauling ass. But in the shower, I watched my heartbeat go from like 78 to like 108. It hit 110 and it hit 113. And all I was doing was taking a shower. And I was like, whoa, you know, I guess there is some things I just don't want to know. I mean, I know it, but I don't want to know it. I thought I was immune, but I did see, I mean, I don't feel weird. It's been happening my whole life. But in a hot shower, it raised my beats per minute up to like the 110s from my normal like 170s. And then I always finish my showers with a cold shower for no other reason than it's healthy AF. So I started, you know, I don't do it all at once. I'm not a masochist like that. So I start turning it down. I get it to where it's cold and comfortable. And then I turn it down a little more, and I like that briskness, you know, to start the day. Sure enough, brought it straight back down to 71. So I learned something. So did Steve Jobs. Because Steve Jobs can monitor these from the grave. Mark 1 with the 10 Bananagramas. Merry Christmas. You're hot. Bro, you're awesome. My heartbeat goes up every time I look at Natalie. That was one of the sweetest things I heard all day. You're a lucky woman, Natalie. You scored yourself a good one right there. Good man, good man. All right, let me get back over to where I was. I don't want to miss anything. You missed my message? Whose message? Angela G, you splitting? All right, make sure that, you know, you catch all this. I'm going to cut a certain segment of this out, maybe even the singing. Stink, stank, stunk. into a separate one, and I'll put that up Christmas Day. That is so cool. I'm gonna read that again for Natalie. This is from Chris. Natalie. My heartbeat goes up every time I look at Natalie. That's freaking cool. Good on you. All right. Okay, guys, I'm out. All right, no goal for yards, says Great Dane Mom. All right, I'm glad people checked in. It's supposed to be in the 50s in Ohio. All right. So, I hate to say without any further ado, but without any further ado, brief pause. I hope they don't drop a commercial here, but we shall see. I don't think they will. Do. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Gather round. Santa Bror is gonna read you a story about how the Grinch stole Christmas. You ready for story time? How the Grinch stole Christmas. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now, please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right, or perhaps that his shoes were just a little too tight. But I think that most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was just 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve just hating the Whos, staring down from his cave with a sour, Grinchy frown at the warm, lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled, with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. I must find a way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who boys and girls would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. Oh, then the noise. Oh, the noise, the noise, the noise. That's one thing the Grinch hated. All that noise. Then the Whos, young and old, would sit down to a feast. And they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which is something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together. With Christmas bells ringing, they'd stand hand in hand and the Who's would start singing. And they'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing. The more Grinch thought of this Who Christmas thing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop the whole thing. Why, for 53 years, I've put up with it until now. I must stop Christmas from coming. But how? But how indeed? And then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch had a wonderfully awful idea. I know just what to do. The Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. He chuckled and chucked. What a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and this hat, I'll be just like Saint Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there were none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No. The Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max, then took some red thread and he tied a big horn to the top of his head. Whoa, Max. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh that he hitched up to old Max. Then the Grinch said, giddy up, and the sleigh started down towards the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. Sneaky old Grinch. All the windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. Then he came to the first little house on the square. This is stop number one, the old Grinch Claus hissed as he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two, then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who's stockings were all hung in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are the first thing to go. Then he slithered and slunked with a smile most unpleasant. Around the whole room he took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates and drums, checkerboards and tricycles, popcorn and plums. He stuffed them all in bags. Then the Grinch, very nimble, stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Up the chimble. Then he slunk to the icebox. No, not the icebox. And he took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding, and he took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took the last can of Who hash. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee, and now the Grinch, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. And the Grinch grabbed the tree, and he started to shove, and he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast, and he saw a small Who. Little Cindy Lou Who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who got out of her bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking my Christmas tree? Why? But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. Why, my sweet little tot, the fake old Santa Claus lied. There's a light on the top of this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it back to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there and I'll bring it back here. His fib fooled the child. Then he patted her on the head. And he got her a drink and sent her off to bed. When Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went up the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Grinch. The last thing he took was the log for the fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, that old liar. On the walls, he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And one speck of food that was left in the house wasn't crumb even big enough to feed a small mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who houses, leaving crumbs much too small for even the Who mouses. It was dawn, all the Who's still in bed, all the Who's still a snooze while he packed up his sled. Pack it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags, the tinsels, the trimmings, and all the trappings. 3,000 feet up to the side of Mount Crumpet. He rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Poo-poo to the Who's was his Grinchiest last humming. They're finding out now that Christmas is not coming. They've just woke up. You know, they know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open in a minute or two. Then all the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo. That's the noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. He did hear a sound ringing over the snow. It started in low, and then it started to grow. But the sound was not sad. Why, this sounded quite merry. It couldn't be so, but it was kind of merry, very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, were singing and singing without presents at all. He couldn't stop Christmas from coming. It still came. Somehow or another, it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood and puzzled. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. He puzzled for 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't thought of before. Maybe Christmas doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, is a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. The minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself was the one who carved the roast beast. So if the Grinch can change, we all can change. Hey, Bror Fredrik! No more troll voice. My heart grew 3 times that day. I learned not how to be a D. And I carved the roast beast. That was fun. Was that fun? I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thoroughly enjoyed that. I hope you did too. All right, let me check out a few comments. Oh, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. If the Grinch can change, we all can change. Maria with the 5 banana rams. You like my Christmas hat? I remember I told you I had one? I told you I had one with the holly leaf and everything. This was part of a Santa suit that I used to wear. I had 2 of them. I had to put the belly in and everything. I used to wear them down to the children's hospital and go play Santa and give out toys and whatnot. Haven't done that in a couple of years. You know why? They don't let you. They're like, oh, you freaking weirdo. We don't want Santa up in here. Bah, humbug. That's what the Grinch used to say, but, hopefully that changed, you have to want to change. And how do you do that? You put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking out the door. Put one foot in front of another, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, and soon you'll be walking towards the door. Who else loves that song? That, to me, is one of the best Christmas songs ever. All right. It's like 110 degrees with this hat on, so I'm going to take it off for a second. Woo! But that was fun. So, Frank, thank you for the Grinch, the Grinchest Grinch ever. I am going to treasure him forever. And thank you, Janice, for the Grinch book and for starting a new, there we go, holiday tradition. Oh, on the back it says something. Wait a second. What does it say? Did he do it? Did the Grinch really steal Christmas? Or does Christmas perhaps mean a little bit more? Celebrate the true meaning of the holidays with this beloved classic. Your heart too will grow, just like the Grinch. Yeah. Am I the only one that resonates with? I hope not. I wish they'd put up some like Christmas things for us to drop up in there. Bunk, bunk, bunk. I'm gonna drop all the hearts. I'm gonna get this a little bit out of my face. It's too up in my grill. And tomorrow there is a chance. I think there's more than a chance. I gotta do a little something. Cheers to our new tradition, says Janice. Thank you very much for those 5 Bananaраmas. I will cut that into a separate video. I think I made like a slight flub in there, or I'll do a separate reading, but yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was awesome. Okay, tomorrow Let's see. I will do a brief drive-in chat tomorrow. I think I got some airport business like early afternoon, so maybe after that you guys join me because, I want to do something. It's Christmas Eve. And then on Saturday I got a couple things I'll put up, but I want everyone to enjoy their holidays as well. Yes, thank you, Frank. And so you guys loved it. All right, cool. I'm glad. I really, honestly... No BS. I look forward to doing that for quite a while, and I did it without rehearsal. I mean, honestly, I should have played with the pages so they weren't. The book is absolutely brand new, but I think I all I can say is I absolutely enjoyed doing that. No ifs, ands, or buts. I hope you guys did too. Let's see, what time is it? 6:00. All right. I do have a few things that I need to do. Is anyone looking forward to the Chanel Fischel, the 24 Hours of a Christmas Story on TBS? No kidding. I did not know that. I still have not seen The Grinch. There's two I want to see. I want to see The Grinch. I have not seen it yet. I don't even know what channel it's on. So if anyone knows, I don't do cable. I just do, all the OTT stuff. And there's a few I want to see tonight. I got some stuff I need to do. Ronald Wilson with the 5 Bananagramas. Tremendous read, bro. Thank you very much. That means a lot to me. It genuinely does. You guys are awesome. Everyone seemed to enjoy it. All right, good. I truly did look forward to that. So I am going to do a little Christmas Eve drive-in chat. I know people are busy. I don't expect you to stop your last-minute gift shopping or whatever you're doing down in Whoville. But, I'm not sure exactly what time, but I'm figuring around noon or 1 o'clock because I'm going to be out anyway. I'm pretty much done. All the shopping's been done. All the stockings have been stuffed. Stuff's ready to go. I even treated myself, a couple little things here and there, which was kind of cool. Yeah, so I think tomorrow we'll hang out a bit. And, of course, the day after Christmas. Does it feel like Saturday? I am so... like a little twisted on time. It does not feel like a Saturday to me, because normally Saturday we'd be ramping up to go walk around the strip and everything, but I don't know, it just doesn't. It feels like maybe Thursday or Friday or something, but it is Saturday night, and tomorrow's gonna be Sunday, so we'll do that quick live, and I'm looking forward to it. So everyone seemed to enjoy that. You've only seen a few parts of it. Yeah, you're right, Rory. Time has gotten away from me. I love this time of year, and I cherish it. And this year, more than any other year, I'd have to say I enjoyed it the most. I mean, last year was challenging. Last Christmas season, the Christmas season before, broke my shoulder and all sorts of stuff. This one was wonderfully uneventful, and I'm excited, and I got new things on the horizon. Started working on some new things for the new streaming channel that I'm going to be putting up on my own outside of YouTube, so that's going to be fun. They're probably getting ready for me to do that too, but I'm excited about it. I did some last minute things to make sure that happened today. So yeah, it's going to be good. You treated yourself to, were the sales good? I mean, the sales are generally better for the guys than for the ladies. I mean, I know I picked up, maybe I'll show everyone. I did another little bit of a clothes haul. Like I said, I went down to, Dillard's to their clearance center. They actually have a clearance center here in town. They don't dump crap at their outlet store. They actually own a building like the size of it was a full-blown Dillard's at one time, and they converted it strictly to their clearance center. And it's huge, and it's just massive. So I go in there like once every 2 months or so, and I spend a few hours and I scour all the racks, and I got stuff in there like 80% off, 85% off. So I got some new clothes to start the year out. Maybe I'll show that on another live stream. But yeah. I'm glad. And usually for the men, it's a little easier for us to find deals. You ladies, I don't know why they're kind of grinchy when they know. I think they know you're going to spend the money regardless, But I don't think that's fair. If there's one thing I could say in the equality realm between men and women, I would say that men get better deals when it comes to clothing and fragrances and, like a men's fragrance, an excellent top shelf fragrance like this Tommy Bahama is like $70. And this, I've literally been using it for like 2 months and only that much is gone. This is going to last me years if it's stored correctly, This Gucci over here, let's say. Gucci by Gucci. You see how far down that one is. Can you see? Yeah. I've had this for like 10 years, 8 years or something like that. I don't wear the same stuff every day. I have like 10 or 15 colognes, Here's Vera Wang for men, and I've used this, and that's all that's gone from it. And they're like 70. Okay, Tom Ford's like 250 or whatnot, but all my colognes, my most expensive one would be, which is also my favorite, Czar, Van Cleef and Arpels. That's getting down there a bit. This is like $600. This stuff is no joke, but it's comes with a stick to beat the ladies and the guys off. But my point being, if you took the same colognes and made them for women, they'd be 4 times as much. Dresses, everything. In certain levels of upper end men's style, we have to pay the same as women, but for the most part, we don't. And when sales come around, you'll see guys' clothes off 80% off, 65% off. And that's what I buy because I'm not dumb. 65% off, today only, take an additional 20. That's how I shop, Not because I'm cheap, it's because I'm smart. I'm frugal, but I'm not cheap. But that's when I buy myself. I don't see the same things. I walk through the ladies' department. I don't see them handing you the same deal. So if you ladies want to fight for equality, that's where you should start. I'll stand there with you. Pay gaps, all that other stuff, we're going to have to talk about. But clothing and fragrance deals, you ladies are getting the short end of the stick because they know they got to really, really, really make it enticing for us to part with our money for wardrobes because, there's dudes out there who got, they got holes in their underwear. They're not jumping to, stay on the latest fashions and whatever. So, Ginger Biscuit. The only fragrance I purchased recently was Ginger Biscuit by Joe Maloney. Is it any good? Tell me a story, Bror. Chloe, I'll tell you another story. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. I'll do that one too. How about that? And it's fabulous. Ooh, I gotta go smell that. I like that. You know which one I smelled the other day? Sometimes I sniff women's perfume too. I don't care. Chloe, the one that looks like a high heel, that stuff is nice. That stuff is real nice. Yeah. All right, so I'm glad everyone enjoyed that. You treated yourself to a Braw Nation t-shirt on Thursday? Thank you very much. I did not get that memo yet, but thank you. I do appreciate that. There's a couple new ones coming out, too. I did, it takes like 72 hours. I put up new t-shirts that say raw and uncensored across the chest, in honor of starting the new venture. There's going to be some cool merch, not just like, walk around with my name on your stuff all the time. It's going to be some cool stuff coming up. Plus, I'm also, if all goes well, I think by March, I'm going to actually launch my own product line of something. Can't tell you what, but something. And it's going to be good. I've been working on it and working on it and working on it. You know me. I like to do things and until it's like just right. I mean, I like to get things in at least the 90%, 95% category before launch, but this one, it's got my name on it. So it's gotta be perfect. And I hope you guys think so too. Jimmy Choo is cool too. Treated yourself to a nice box of cigars. Good on you. I like that. I like that a lot. Maria with the 2 bananarams. You have a knack for reading, Bror. Yeah, it's I gotta make those moves, and thank you very much. Thank you, Sylvia. I gotta make those moves. It's something it's something to leave behind in posterity. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's something that'll be used, but at the same time, it'll be part of my legacy. And that's kind of what us Nordic people are about. We believe in, the Nordic people who didn't believe in, God and, going to heaven and all that, believe that they live forever as long as stories were continually told about them. And when they fell out of fashion, that's when they died, even though they were in Valhalla. But they felt they'd still be alive in the songs and the stories. And that's one of the reasons Nordic people, Vikingers, always sought glory, because it was an attempt to be immortalized. And not a lot of people feel that way anymore. And it's a mindset that you can adopt, You should want to leave behind a legacy. You do want stories told about you, good ones, not that, that guy was an asshole from the jump, You want, when your time comes to go to a better place, you want people to remember you and say, he did this and he did that. And I remember this time he helped with this and da-da-da-da, all that. Leave behind a legacy. And some of it is in the things that we do. If you're of the creative nature, leave things behind or, touch people's lives. And that's what I endeavor to do on the regular. And I hope I'm touching some lives out there because, my memory will live on through the memories of you guys. Not that I'm going anyway. Don't get it twisted. I'm just getting a little sentimental. It's the time of year to be sentimental. And then come January 1st, it's time to start kicking some ass. Jump out of the sentiment and get with the dukes and the fisticuffs and go slay some dragons. You know what I'm saying? Coffee. I'm not going to talk about it. You'll see it when you see it. And definitely help some homeless people now, too. Like I said, I had the opportunity to do some stuff. I gave out, in the past 3 weeks, I gave out the last of everything that I had for help the homeless. So, during F1 and the lead up to F1, they pushed all the homeless off the strip and into the residential areas, and they had a big presence for a while, and then not. Like, I was starting not to see them, so I was wondering what was going on. Did they actually help the homeless in this town? No. But now I'm starting to see them again. So for the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been going out. I've been keeping things in the car that I can distribute. I mean, the bodega, I definitely have a hard time with the ones who, kind of do it strong arm the minute you get out. They're like, hey, that I correct them. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes forcefully. But the ones who are just there to, get a little something, I help them, and it's been received quite well. And I see a lot of stage 1 homeless people here in Vegas, which means stage 1 is where they still care about their appearance. I know because I've been there. Still care about their appearance, and they're still dragging around remnants of their lives, suitcases and, things that, people carry with them. When they start abandoning their appearance and what other people think and start leaving behind the memories, like the physical things from their past. Like, you remember that movie, The Jerk, where he was just like grabbing onto things that meant something to him. When that stops, when they decide to leave that behind, they've pretty much given up hope. So I think, that's when you catch people like that, but that's also when they're least likely to accept help, because the help that they want in their minds is big. We just lost our home. We don't need a pair of socks. We want to go home, So we got a lot of work to do as a society, but it's going to be an interesting year. It's going to be an interesting year. I don't want to get into too much stuff, but we'll talk about it. But I want everyone prepared. I'm getting prepared, and I'm going to teach you guys how to get prepared too. All right, so I hope everyone had fun. That was cool. I enjoyed reading that. I enjoyed my Grinch. I enjoyed all the stuffs. So, let me get my Santa hat back on, and I am going to cut the reading of the Grinch back and put it up as a separate video because I just enjoyed doing it. Tomorrow, I am going to do a Christmas Eve live stream. Won't be from the studio. Like I said, it'll most likely be a drive-in chat, just to relax a little bit, do something a little less formal. Christmas Day, that's going to be exciting, and I'll put up the night before. Twas the night before Christmas. My reading of that, I'll put that up tomorrow night because some people have told me it's become a little bit of a tradition, which is awesome, and it blesses my heart. And then we'll get right back into it on the 26th, and then we'll coast into New Year's Eve. We'll do the fireworks and all that stuff like we've done. Will this actually be this going to be the third year or the fourth year? I think it might be the fourth or the third year. But either way, we're going to spend New Year's together. So, let me just do one last minute check. All right, we're good. So I appreciate the super chats because it's your generosity, my audience, that keeps the channel going. And that's been the case for most of the year. YT, I'm kind of in the doghouse with them, so, they've been a little squirrely, so your support has meant everything to me throughout the entire year and has also kept the channel alive and going, so a heartfelt thank you to all of you that do support and all of you that do watch and all of you that are going to support my future endeavors. I love you guys. And let's see. I think that's about it. So, the Grinch says Merry Christmas, and he says thank you. And his heart grew 3 times due to that story. And on that, so let me invite you, if new people out there, let me invite you to like, share, subscribe, and do the bell hitting and all that other stuff. Do all the links in and all that other stuff. But more importantly, have a wonderful, blessed, enjoyable, if I don't see you, Christmas and holiday season. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.